Right, we're on question 10 now, and we've got a distance time graph. Okay, our graph, distance going up on the left hand side and time going across the bottom. It's really important before you even start the question to make sure you understand the scale. Okay, looking across the bottom, we start at 10. 10:30 you could see would be in the middle, so I need to represent what each one little square is going to be. Okay, I need to work it out. I've got 5 10 little squares, and that's 30 minutes. So if 5 10 little squares are 30 minutes, one little square must represent 3 minutes. That's the first thing I've got to do, is look at the scale. So going across, one little square, okay, is equivalent to 3 minutes. I do the same going up on the left hand side. What have I got? Okay, I've got 10 squares for 5 miles. So every 2 squares must represent 1 mile. Okay, so I need 2 squares for 1 mile. Make sure you work that one out. Right, now I'll read the question. Okay, we've got Helen. She cycles home from a village that is 30 miles from her home. The travel graph below represents her journey. How far did Helen cycle in the first hour? Right, so this is the distance from Helen's home. There. This is where she starts her journey. And the first hour is between 10 and 11. Now you need to make sure you put 11, you mark off where 11 o'clock is on the graph. And at 30 miles, so it's going to be 30 there, away from home. Take away what she ends up at. Remember, every 2 squares was 1 mile. So that was 15, 16, 17. So 30 take away 17 is 13. So how far did Helen cycle? She cycled 13 miles. Yeah? For how many minutes did Helen stop? Well, we know when she stops is she's not going any distance at all. So that's that horizontal part going across. Now count the number of little squares you've got, because we know every one little square is 3 minutes. We've got 5, 6, 7 that side, and we've got 5 there. Okay, so 7 and 5 make 12 little squares. So 12 times 3. Okay, write it in. 12 times 3, make sure you show you're working, is equal to 36 minutes. And make sure you put your units in as well. Right, without calculating, it says any speeds, explain how you can decide whether Helen was cycling faster before stopping or after she had stopped. Right, so this is before she stopped and this is after. Now, to look to see whether she's going faster or not, we look at the gradient, how steep that slope is. Okay, now if you look at that one and you look at this one, this is far less steep, the second one. So she must have been going faster on the first part of the journey. So without calculating, that's just by looking at the graph, you can decide that she was going faster. So we can write it in. She was going faster on the first part of the journey. The first part of the journey. Okay, because the gradient was steeper. And the last part, at what time did she arrive home? Okay, that's her distance from home. This is home at 0. Look at the timer going across the bottom. It's here. That's when she arrived home. So there's 1300 hours, 1 o'clock. That's 1:30 there, half past. And remember, every one little square is 3 minutes. So it's going to be 13:36. Okay, so she arrived home at 13:36 p.m. A nice easy 4-mark question.